Hello, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Full Throttle, where today we are covering episode 9 of Drag Race Germany Season 9. I am Extra Extra, your host extraordinaire, and as always I'm joined by Thomas. Wie geht's dir?
Hi, I'm amazing. I'm doing great. I have the weekend off, which is a rare occasion for me because I work in retail, so yay. But yeah, no, I am amazing. My roomie printed some pictures of my boyfriend's cats. Wait, have I shown you his cats?
No, you showed me a couple of pictures, but I don't know about this.
Well, I mean, I've shown
roommate.
you, but now the internet gets to see the cutest cats in the world. This is Taro. Wait, no.
Look,
Show me.
look
He's
at
so
that baby.
cute.
Ah!
And this is Yuri. Look at the little paw.
Reaching out to us.
Yes. Oh my god, they're such babies.
so
And he gave them to me, and now
cute.
they're just always looking at me and watching me whenever I'm on my PC. So I'm very happy.
That's funny because my little cheering section at my work computer is all my pictures of us hanging out last year in
Aw.
autumn. And so anytime I get discouraged, I just look around and everybody's smiling faces tell me to keep going.
Yes.
And so far I do.
Yes. You're doing great, honey.
Thanks.
How are you doing this week, though?
I didn't really celebrate Halloween all that much. Yeah, I didn't really do anything. It was relatively
That's
low
fine.
key, but I'm getting my business taken care of, and I am graduating in December, and I am making sure
Uh-huh.
that nothing gets in the way of me walking my way down that aisle. I will
Back to
sashay
Germany.
and traumatized. Yeah, right. Well, if only I hadn't signed up for another degree before I get to go to Germany. But
Well, she's a busy queen.
choices.
Yes.
Choices. And first, as a small disclaimer, please do not send any hate or negativity to any of the queens that we talk about today. If you want to go and give them a like and a subscribe and a comment, that would be great, but let's keep it positive and let's lift these queens up. So, this week. Now, I realized during the weekly onesie watch this week that, dresses are onesies. Are they not?
Yeah. No, they are.
I love this look. I know the Germans that I know wear a lot of black, and so I love to see kind of a sleek black look, but the sassy slit and the earrings, I love Barbie. I love her so much.
Yeah, she's amazing. No, she's one of my favorite judges or hosts of all time, I would say. She doesn't seem fake. That's like,
She's so real.
yeah,
She's so real, but she's also authoritative. I feel like some of the
yeah,
hosts feel like they have to be kind of fake and put upon to have that gravitas that a host
yeah,
needs, but Barbie just has it naturally. And yeah, you can't fake that.
yeah. No, she's
And
amazing.
Johnny is wearing it's like a sequined plaid or sequined houndstooth, this ridiculous bright yellow. I love it. It's so campy.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's amazing. He looks really cute as always. I love the jacket.
Dynamic duo.
Yeah,
And like looks like he's got Dorothy slippers on in
yeah.
this shot.
I was looking at this outfit and I was like, you kind of look like you're a housewife that woke up on the Sunday morning
Ah.
and getting her shit
Uh,
done, drinking a cup of tea
I
or
was about to
coffee
say,
or
just got your
whatever.
coffee.
Like,
Uh,
look at these cute little slippers. Amazing.
I love it. Well, we didn't have to suffer through a pointless mini challenge this week because they dive straight into the Maxi-Challenge, which is a green screen challenge, a web show, I think is how they defined it. And so Pandora Nox and Kelly Heelton pair up, which leaves Metamorkid and Yvonne Nightstand to team up as well, which kind of followed their cute little like flirty romance storyline for this
Mhm.
episode, which I thought was obnoxiously cute and
Yes,
just
I
so
like it was
adorable.
like, oh my god, stop being so cute.
Well, and in this group, like I feel like anybody that was teamed up with Pandora was going to be having a rough time. Just because the
Yeah,
other three queens are pretty funny. And like we've said, Pandora can be funny in her confessionals and she is witty and quick, but the comedy challenges are not her strong suit. And she kind of from the get-go in this episode bemoaned the fact that it was a quote comedy challenge. It does seem like the season has had a lot of quote comedy challenges, but these are run-of-the-mill bread and butter drag race challenges. And you can think of them as like strictly comedy challenges, but it's less about being funny and more just about being entertaining. And there's a lot of overlap there between, being funny and being entertaining, but there's so many different ways to be funny and to
yeah.
do entertaining things that, make you excel in a challenge. And I think Pandora just has it in her head that like I'm
Yeah.
not good at comedy challenges. This sounds vaguely like a comedy challenge. I'm doomed.
Yes. Pandora definitely is like at first like when they started saying that like she's too smart for comedy, I didn't really get it because I was like, well, you can't be too smart for comedy. Like if you're really smart, then you can also be good at comedy, right? And I feel like she could be.
It's like you have more tools in your toolbox just because you
Yes.
got a big brain, so you can just like collect
But
more
I think she's
skills.
just kind of overthinking everything. She's
Yeah.
like over analyzing it, and like I
Yep.
think she has like the same issue that Lorelai had in a lot of her in a lot of the weeks that where she's just in her head like I can't do this and or like trying to overthink things or like
Yeah.
she was so eager to please in this episode, and I feel like that really like kicked her in the butt.
Yeah, I think she was a little self-conscious just coming into today,
Yeah.
knowing that she kind of stands out in this group as being weaker on that, and so I'm sure she felt vulnerable, you know.
Yeah. But
But
I will
she
say,
didn't keep her from trying, really
no,
hard. She put forth such a great effort.
I felt like she did let loose a lot more than she did in the weeks before. So it's kind of nice to see that like even with this queen who came into the competition like with a blast, and everyone was like, well, that's like an amazing queen, and she is so
Yeah,
talented
yeah.
in so many ways. But even for her to like see some growth, I felt like it was really nice.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Well, and we'll get to her shortly. On the judges panel, Barbie comes out in yet another very different look tonight. This onesie with the cool colors and the high pony. Looked like she was about to teach a really energetic 80s aerobic class. And like, sign me up, I will be in the front row.
she looks amazing as always. I mean, but like she just looks like so. This is yet another like look from her that you're like, well, we haven't seen this yet. Like she just
Right?
looks like an energetic young Barbie.
It's a bodysuit and pretty simple, but she hasn't given us a bodysuit yet. This
Yeah,
is a different silhouette. As simple as it is, it's shaped well, and
yeah.
she serves it well. And that gap in her two front teeth, I want to move in. It just looks. It's the most charming. It's the most charming little space, and every time she smiles, I melt a little bit.
Yeah, no, she looks amazing. I love her.
And of course, her right hand man with all the pearl necklaces this evening, Johnny Ivanovich.
I mean,
I love that he always wears this like kind of black and white or black and gray looks because like from the hair on the head to the beard to the outfits, it's always so cohesive. Um,
yes,
it's either this or bright colors. So definitely, they know how to dress him in the wardrobe department.
they really do, and he looks amazing as always. He looks so cute. Look at that smile.
I was about to
He
say the smiles of Johnny and Diane are just you can always rely on them to light up the
Yeah.
judging panel. And this asymmetrical do that she's got on is like so big and obnoxious,
I
and all
love
of it.
it.
It's balanced out by this like light turquoise little shoulder animal. I love it.
Shoulder
And you
animal.
can still see all of the cleavage. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah. I mean, look at her. She's amazing. I just want her to like tuck me into bed every day.
And I want
I love her.
Herbert to make me farfalla pasta. I mean, are we ever going to get to see Herbert? Because like I want to know who this mystery man is.
Is Herbert even real?
I'm starting to doubt. I'm starting to question everything. Diane is actually brilliant and a genius behind this entire thing. She speaks
Yes.
perfect German, but she is playing this role so perfect. It is.
Yeah, no.
It's art.
I love them. I love Diane. She's amazing.
And for a third week in a row, we are blessed with the presence of Estefania, and serving a very different look. This like real severe, like Queen of the Winter, this like
Mhm.
red crown of hair. I thought she looked amazing.
She does. I mean, she also knows how to like paint her face. She looks amazing.
I feel like she's kind of the like T.S. Madison of this season. She's like
Yes.
the recurring guest judge that everybody loves so much that they just want her to be a regular part of the jury.
Yeah, same. Like I was thinking like when I watched this episode, I was like, honestly, I think I would be fine if the next season is just all like every episode just these four people. Like
Yeah.
I feel like there's, especially like with her, I feel like she's warmed up so much. Like she definitely
Yeah.
grew out of her shell and like grew so much more comfortable being there and judging them.
And having chemistry with the other judges is really important too, and I feel
Yeah.
like they meld really well.
Yeah, she's doing amazing. She looks amazing.
So this week, as we said, they split up into teams of two, with the first team being Pandora Nox and Kelly Heelton. Now, it's funny, going into this, they did play very different roles. Like, Pandora played this very feminine character, and Kelly played this really butch character. I thought, because Kelly is really great with comedy and timing, and Pandora's got the smarts to be able to, like plan something out that will work between them. And I kind of hoped they would take almost like the Alaska Alyssa approach from the comedy challenge in All Stars 2, just like stick to your strengths. Like I figured they would kind of let Kelly, kind of ham up a big joke and then let Pandora come in with like a tight zinger, to kind of wrap it up and, not try to be anybody that they're not. They definitely took it a different direction, which is admirable because it pushed themselves, outside of the roles that they've been doing. And they definitely gave it energetic performances, but like a lot of the challenges in this season and on all seasons, like we've mentioned before, so many of them just devolve into like weird making out and groping and fake sex. Like, and this one did it so quickly. Like, I think the idea of, serving this like talk about red flags, it almost gave me like a Deal Breakers in 30 Rock kind of vibe, like here's a list of like things that are just red flags, but that's not how they did it. They did like making red flags, and like they referenced a lot of things that are red flags, but it was just chaotic.
I feel like I didn't really get what they were trying to do, because they were saying they were gonna show us how to do how to create your own red flag.
Yeah.
But then they didn't really do it. They were just like behind the counter and like doing weird sex stuff, and there was stuff flying around, and like at some points it was kind of funny. I mean, like
There were
especially like
jokes
with that one guy from the pit crew, like when he came up, that was kind of fun. But like I didn't really get the concept, and like what you said about them trying to push themselves, I feel like that's admirable, but also that's not something you should do when you're in the top 4. I feel like that's something you can try when you're like when there's like still like 8 or 9 people left.
Yeah.
But when it's like this close to the end, I feel like you should stick to what you're good at and try to get through it, especially in Pandora's case, who was like so worried that she's not going to perform well in the comedy challenge.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't really get that. But I gotta say, I felt like Pandora, for the first time in the comedy challenge, she really let go and like tried really hard, and I felt like there was some growth there, so that was nice to see.
That's a good point. And it was, I mean, she did let go and just kind of let her silly hang out, which, is definitely an improvement, but it didn't really come across in a cohesive way that told any kind of story. She kind of reminded me of, this is a weird reference, but she reminds me of the lead character Lena from Turkish for Anfänger. Like, I don't know, like something about her delivery and the fact that she is, kind of short and vaguely redheaded. Like, there's an uncanny similarity there for me, and it didn't occur to me until this episode. But yeah, it's basically like German Turkish Brady Bunch TV show from like the probably 2000s.
Yeah, it's definitely like early 2000s.
It's got that cute dude who's in like all the Fuck You Goethe movies.
Oh my god, Elias Mbarek.
He's so hot.
He is. And he aged like fine wine.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so first up from this pair is Miss Pandora Nox. This week on the runway, the category was Opera Queens, which half the girls seemed to take that as like a woman going to the opera, and the other half of the queens interpreted that as like characters in an opera, which Pandora kind of did both here, because she looks fucking elegant as fuck as the Queen of the Night from the Magic Flute. But, I mean, she looks incredible.
There's nothing to say. I mean, like, okay.
Oh, the headpiece,
the dress, the shape, her movement on the runway.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, again, she's showing us that she's just an amazing drag queen.
She's an amazing visual artist. Like, she
really
understands every facet of how to not only look good, but look engaging, and to sell it in whatever way she needs to, from the stage. And like, comedy and words may not be her like super strong suit, but there's so many facets of this craft that she is just like unparalleled, and these
Yes,
looks that she's given us this season are
amazing.
top notch.
And I mean, I know I have complained about her contacts before, but in this look, I feel like it just fits perfectly. It looks
Yeah,
amazing.
it was very intentional.
Yeah,
You know, in the challenge, I will give her a net because yeah, she put herself out there. It didn't totally land, but she was giving it all she's got. And on the runway, I mean, this is so cold, it's ice.
yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to see when they brought up the videos from the loved ones, right? And like
Yeah.
when they showed her dad, and I was like, this explains everything.
So much.
It was so funny. I was like, is he really gonna do the whole alphabet? And then he was like, oh well, no, I mean I don't have the time for this, but you're doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. I was like, okay, well, yeah, this is, and then her mom just like, yeah, we love you. Good luck. Bye.
Oh, yeah, I
was
think
like,
everybody
okay.
in the room was like, "This explains so much."
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. Yeah.
And her teammate, Miss Kelly Heelton, who normally does not struggle at all in a comedy challenge and has been really killing it on the runway. This is a look based on a costume from Aida, which, as she says, was kind of important to her as a role of color on an opera stage that is normally so like white dominated. Uh, this is not like the most glamorous look. I do think that the gold color is really pretty on her, and that hairpiece is super impressive. And she sings opera on the runway. I mean, who is this? Monet Exchange? Hello. But yeah, I mean, I definitely thought that she did a great job selling it. It doesn't really stack up to some of the other looks on the runway, but I think it is very Kelly, and it looks really great. I mean, her makeup is continues to be captivating and unconventional. She's always doing new things, and yeah, I think she looks great.
She looks great. I kind of felt like we've seen something like this from her before, which like that's why it kind of like disappointed. I felt like it fell a bit flat, but like Barbie pointed out, it's not just the look; it is also a performance on the runway, and like her singing was amazing. She can sing
I
very
say,
well,
come
and
through training.
yes. So she still looks stunning. So
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not complaining, but
yeah,
compared to the other looks on the runway, it is a bit, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll probably in the challenge and on the runway give her a net. She definitely. It was a little disappointing that she didn't just make me fall down laughing in the challenge. Um, and yeah, the runway is nice, but not super overwhelming.
No, I agree. It's definitely a net on both. I did feel like she did her best on the challenge with what she was given. Pandora has such a strong personality and like such a clear concept that I felt like she just wanted to go along with it and like give it a
Yeah.
chance.
I think she was a great partner. Like she was
Yeah,
so
no,
willing to
for sure.
work with whatever to make Pandora feel comfortable and heard.
Yes.
Um, I hate that the end product wasn't better for them
Yeah.
both because they both did try so hard and are so
Yes.
talented. But I mean, top four, it's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
Exactly. And again, like just like with Pandora, like when the videos showed up, every time I was like, it all makes sense
Yeah.
now. Her
Yep.
friends seem so energetic as well. Like they seem so hyper energy and like, but also like so kind and
Oh, they
warm.
seem like they are on the same wavelength. And
Yes.
like Kelly, I love how like emotionally honest she is. Like as soon as the video came on, she was just like
Yes.
on the floor,
She was like,
crying her eyes out.
yes,
Like,
she could not
yeah,
handle it at
yeah.
all. But like, I felt it was so relatable. So
Let
yeah.
it out, girl.
Yes.
I love it. I
Yes,
know.
we love
So
you,
Kelly,
Kelly.
Kelly knows how to feel her feelings, and I
Yes.
respect the hell out of her for that.
Same.
Okay, so that just leaves Team B, the lovebirds of Yvonne Nightstand and Metamorkid. And that is a dangerous recipe for a comedy challenge like this. Like I think Meta collected at the beginning that Pandora had to lip sync the last time they worked together, and so maybe she was not wanting to fall into that same
Yes.
position again. But yeah, like she's like, let them be a cute little pair and see how that all works out. But they really they paid attention to what the task was and the brief, and they didn't lose sight of the fact that this is a web show. Like,
Yes.
and I love that they like specifically mentioned and cited as
Yes.
like an inspiration because I think that kind of kept them on the right path. You know, they were
Yes.
clear with their introductions and what they were there to do, and the back and forth. It all sounded really well rehearsed. I was
Yes.
very, very impressed.
It was super well done. The jokes were funny. The characters were very clear.
Yeah,
They did so well. What I also didn't like about the first pair was that they didn't like. It didn't really feel like they were doing a web show. It felt more like they were doing like
like
a
a skit.
one-time thingy, right? Like a one-time
Yeah,
comedy
not a
skit.
part of a web show.
Exactly. But they were like, well, like and subscribe. You're gonna find the link under the video and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That made it feel like a web show. So,
yeah, yeah.
um, yeah,
I mean, just some basic key little things that are, I guess, easy to overlook, but really kind of give it that ring of authenticity.
yes,
And they played to their strengths. Like Yvonne just did stupid shit and made hilarious jokes, and Meta did her thing. Like I don't know. They both have their unique brand of humor, and
yes,
they know it and are good at it. And the fact that they worked well together just kind of let both of them shine. And like I
yes,
didn't think one outshone the other. Um, that's why it was fun to also watch them lip sync.
yeah.
um,
My God, I can't.
Yeah. Okay, so first up, Yvonne. This is such a glamorous look for Yvonne.
Yes.
Like straight up glamour, no camp, no crazy combinations of colors or fabrics. I do love in true Yvonne fashion that she's not wearing any shoes because the dress is long enough to cover it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can tell, like sometimes you don't walk with the same like pose and stature if you're not like forced into that horribly uncomfortable position. But she said she was walking on her toes, and I think they thought that she couldn't walk just because the dress was kind of tight down around her calves, and not that because she
Yes.
wasn't wearing shoes and was trying to walk on tiptoes.
Yes.
But I,
Amazing.
you know, the only thing that I would love to see from Yvonne on the runway is a glamorous look with a big wig, with big hair.
Yes.
You know, she wears these little wigs well, these little pussycat wigs. Who are we, Monet Exchange?
Yeah.
Hello? Like, jeez, I get the inspiration, but I just would love to see her with like a big old Diane wig on.
Yes. Actually, yeah, you're right. No, I agree. I think that would be like they would fit her very well. She does look amazing. I'm not gonna criticize her look in that regard. I do kind of feel like we've seen this style of makeup on her before, though,
True.
a couple of times now. So like
Yeah.
this very soft lip and like very. I, she looks great.
Like, she always seems to look prettier than the last time, but
Yes.
you're right, there's not a ton of variation in
Yes.
the makeup. And maybe she's just kind of on a makeup journey and she's like getting closer to what she wants to do and she notices differences every time, but kind of like the wig. I just wish she would kind of surprise us with like
Yeah.
something a little bit different.
But again, I mean, there is nothing to criticize about this look in general. It's
Yeah. I would expect to see this bitch sitting up in the real expensive,
yeah,
you know, box seat, fanning herself with her tiny glasses, saying, I
yeah,
can't wait to see how this turns out.
exactly.
All right. So, yeah, in the challenge and on the runway, she is giving me heist, heist, heist this week.
Super Christ, she was so hot.
And last but not least, our little Metamorkid. Now, she
Oh
is
my
one of the
God.
queens that interpreted this runway as a character from an opera. And so she is Papageno from the Magic Flute, Zauberflöte, which is the same
Yeah.
opera that Pandora's character came from. So I love that the Austrians were like
Yes.
so on board with this theme today because they both gave really interesting perspectives on these looks. Because like, yeah, how do you do a opera character bird look? This is how. This is how. She's got the tiny bird cage hanging from the wrist. She's got the feathers on the skirt and on the headpiece. I just thought it was so imaginative with these kind of earth tones too. Like it's camp, but it's like understated theater haute couture. Like
I
I don't even know how to describe it.
she looks amazing. I really did not understand the criticism that she got on the runway because I was like, I don't feel like okay, I mean, it doesn't look as glam as the other looks, but that wasn't the challenge. The runway theme was not like do a glam opera look. It was
Exactly.
like opera queens.
Exactly.
And I felt like it was so smart. It was so in character for Meta. You could immediately clock who she was supposed to be. And it looks like a Papageno made passion. So like, I love this look. I enjoyed it so much. The presentation itself, the way she walked, it was amazing. I think she did so well.
Yeah. I'm just so glad that she has continued. It seemed like she was kind of quiet early in the season, never weak, but has just like kind of slowly risen, and that hasn't changed at all. Like she continues to just have a slow, steady, confident rise, and I could really see her taking the crown at this point.
The,
What?
when you said risen, and I had to look at this, it kind of reminded me of Kennedy's Phoenix look, where she looked like a burnt chicken.
Chrysalis.
But this looks amazing, though.
But, oh my god, it really is. This is like earlier in the night before she starts tricking. Oh well, that is so heist. I'm gonna give her heists in both challenge and runway.
She's amazing. I love her. Heist.
Kennedy Davenport heist.
I also have to note that like I started crying when she like got her video. And she started crying because it was so cute, and I can relate so much because I also have like, I have like 2 sisters and 1 brother, older, but I just love them so much and I miss them so much because they also live so far away. And it was just so heartwarming to see, and I was so happy to see that she has this support in her family, and it was
they Meta and their sister seemed to have such a cute relationship, and actually it reminded me a little bit of me and my sister that's closest to me in age, and so I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
Same, and Yvonne's messages were really cute too. It was hilarious how what everybody took away from it is that like, okay, Pandora's dad is weird in the exact same way she is, and Yvonne's friends were all like, "We never thought you'd make it to the top 4."
I was like, this is so mean, but like also so funny.
Like, and they should have showed up to the reading challenge.
Yes, Yvonne seemed to take it so well, and it made sense. It just made sense because it's just the same humor that she has. Like she's like so on point and like in your face with her humor, but like in a funny way.
Like, she's hilarious, but she's down to earth and real. She didn't take herself too seriously, and like only somebody like that could hear that from their friends and be like, "Yep, that's me."
Yep. I loved it. It's amazing. I loved all of the video messages. It was a really fun. Like the whole episode was really nice and fun to watch. So,
it was, and honestly, this is an episode where no one ends up going home, and I kind of saw it coming a little bit. I was counting the episodes, and I was under the impression that there were going to be 12 episodes this season, and I was like, there's not enough queens. Like even if one of these episodes is a reunion, like that's still too many episodes. So as soon as they said that Pandora was safe and that Kelly was safe, it really threw Yvonne and Meta for a loop, because it was obvious to us pretty much at that point that they were actually the top 2, but they did not tell them until the last minute, and they looked so pissed. They looked so upset and so confused, and like they waited and they milked it and they waited. I felt so bad for them, and Barbie was finally like, "It's time to lip sync for the win." And it took a couple of seconds for it to register, but you could tell that they were perturbed.
I think the only time that I've ever seen a queen look so angry on the main stage was when Jen was safe in the Rusical challenge.
The meme.
Like
the meme herself.
Oh my, Yvonne looked so fucking mad. And I was mad too. I was like, Pandora, you're safe. Because I didn't get it. I was like, I didn't know there were like only like this many, like there were this many episodes left, and I was like, wait, that means that either like that probably Meta has to go to lip sync against Kelly, and I didn't want to see either of them go, obviously, but like I felt like Kelly was gonna lip sync against Pandora, and I was very confident that Pandora was gonna beat Kelly in a lip sync, and obviously I don't want to see Kelly go home because I don't want to see any of them go home.
Yeah,
but I felt like it would have been fairer for Kelly to go home than any of the other queens in this episode.
Yeah.
So I was so mad, and then they milked it, and I was like, "Wait, something's off." And then I got it, but I felt with you, Yvonne. Like,
that tension in the room was palpable.
Yes,
for sure.
because it wouldn't be like that out there for the Drag Race producers to put two queens that get along amazingly. Is that a word? Amazingly?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
You used it amazingly.
Thank you. Oh my god, I'm just such a talent. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, and you can tell. See their whole storyline this episode with the flirty and the attraction that they obviously share.
Yeah.
I guess back since the days of like Willem and all the controversies surrounding like sexual relationships that you have while you're at Drag Race, I just kind of assumed that kind of thing was either discouraged or not allowed by production. But it definitely seems like this is sanctioned romance, and that the producers are probably hoping to. I mean, it made for great TV this week because they were really just fucking cute. But like in the preview for next week, it seems like they're definitely trying to push a dramatic narrative of like Yvonne's jealous of Meta because she didn't get the guy she wanted and is flirting with someone else. Like, I mean, it might not be that dramatic, but it's the perfect setup for the storylines just because of the way they've portrayed it. So I'm curious to see how dramatic they try to make it look, but I really hope for their sake that that's not how it goes down, because like that is the last thing you need to have on your mind when you're fighting for a spot in the top 3 and like working in a makeover challenge, because makeover challenges are always wild and it's always an excuse for production to push whoever they want to. So I think any shenanigans that we see next week will make it very clear how production feels about this top 4 and who they see going on.
For sure.
Because I know a lot of chatter online thinks that Pandora is being very favored and pushed, and like I don't think that she was pushed into the top 4 because she is absolutely that talented. But as far as winning the Drag Race crown, honestly, I feel like she might be next to go just because she's shown that she's not quite as well rounded as extreme as her skills are in all these other areas. I feel like Yvonne, Meta, and Kelly tick more boxes than she does as far as like the whole list of Drag Race skills goes.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard to judge at this point. I agree that maybe they're more well-rounded in certain ways, like they tick off more boxes, but I feel like Pandora ticks them harder.
Yes, I mean with such magnitude.
Yeah, so it's really hard to say. I really can't say who might be winning this season. All I can say is though that I would be happy with each and every one of them to win, because I have grown to love these queens so much. Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, you realize these are just people, and this competition is just a small part of their lives. And especially since they do seem pretty close and like seem close with the jury members and stuff, like I think they know more than anybody that like the outcome of the competition is not, it doesn't have that strong of a bearing on like who you are as a drag queen. It's been a great opportunity for each of them to grow and to show their many talents. But I think these top 4 at least are just happy to be there, and they're going to fight for the crown. But like, it's going to be easy to not be personal about it and, to be sad. But before we get ahead of ourselves, first, it's the lip sync between Meta and Yvonne. I figured this would be a super campy, ridiculous lip sync because neither of these queens are like, the stuntiest, dancingest queens, especially with Yvonne in that gown that she can barely move in and having not really prepared because she did not think she would be in the bottom.
And she wasn't, but
But you're never quite safe from a lip sync.
Yeah.
And I think Meta definitely showed a lot of versatility in this because she emoted and was sassy, and she didn't do any crazy like jump, split, death drop, anything, but like she didn't really need to because the outfit that she was wearing looked great and allowed her to move a lot. And, Yvonne camped it up as much as she could, but there was just not a whole lot she could do.
No, but first of all, the song is amazing. Finally, a German song.
It was Amadeus! Oh my gosh.
Which is an amazing song. I was so happy to hear it.
I was so happy to hear this song because it's, an 80s classic. And B, I honestly didn't know that it was in German. I've only ever really heard the chorus. And so I was so thrilled to hear this. Like, I've got to perform this song. Like, I don't know why it's not on my, like, German 80s playlist already.
I don't know why either, but it's an amazing song. I think they did... Both of them did really well. I don't think... Have we seen either of them lip sync before? No, right?
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen either of them lip sync yet.
And I think they both did amazing. And, like, I felt like Meta's outfit was perfect for this lip sync. She did so well. Yvonne, for not having prepared, also did amazing. They both seem to have so much fun on the stage, and yeah, I mean,
And yeah, the kiss.
uh-huh.
I mean to acknowledge the sexual tension is so great, and I'm so glad they just went for it. And obviously Kelly and the jury were living for it. Oh, so
They were
good.
just yeah. It was also so funny that they brought up like Tessa's leggings again. It was just like, okay, girl.
Keep the dream alive.
Yeah, it's just so funny.
Yeah, I thought it was really great, and honestly, when they announced that winner was Meta, I thought that was totally fair. I do think she had the Austrian advantage there. You know, Mozart
Yeah,
was definitely giving her some life, but this Papageno is top notch for me.
yeah. I loved her. It was an amazing week for both of them, but like I mean, Meta just with that lip sync kicked it out of the park.
Yeah, it's funny because the trajectories for these queens that I see at this point are very different than the ones that I felt at the beginning of the season. I'm glad that nobody went home today because
Yeah,
I do think that since Pandora is the only one that's not great at comedy challenges, that it would have been just real predictable and real kind of almost like targeted to like see her
yeah,
go at this point. But you know, something's going to happen next week, and like we said, it is going to be the makeover challenge with I think Drag Race super fans of various types. So that is always an interesting one. Some queens are really great at it, some are not, and the decisions from the judges panel are always confusing. And I never
yeah,
quite ever, I mean, ever since Aquaria was not in the bottom for that crime that she did to Kingston, I can't. Like that
yeah,
kind of broke me. Um,
yeah.
but I have faith in Barbie and Johnny and Diane, and Estefani if she's there. I hope she is.
Yeah.
But remains to be seen.
I am I am not the biggest fan of the makeover challenges. I used to be. I thought it was like I think in theory it's such a fun challenge, and like also I mean it is a very like specific skill.
Yes.
Very rarely have there been great like outcomes of these. I mean, okay, like Miss Cookie was amazing, but
Miss Cookie, I feel like it's worth it for the occasional Miss
yeah,
Cookie. You know, like that.
yeah.
We'll see.
At least we're gonna have fun talking about it.
Exactly. Because we will be here regardless,
Yes.
giving you 100% coverage of Drag Race Germany.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, thank you all so much for joining us again here on episode 9 of season 1 of VollThrottle. Thomas, you are always such a gift.
No, you. I am so happy to be here every week with you, and I enjoy this so much. I love you, and I love this show, and I love everything about it. So
I love you and I love these queens, and I am just crossing my fingers and pressing my thumbs that we get a season 2, because that would be great. So another reason to get out there and support the queens. Go follow Drag Race Germany on all the socials, and give them some support. Let them know that we are watching and that we want more. Who knows? Maybe Tomas will be on next season.
who knows? Probably not. I think I know.
Besides, you're so tight-lipped, we'd never hear about it, even if it did happen. Well, then join us here next week, same time, same place, for the next dose of Drag Race Germany Season 1. Thank you all so much. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.